Welcome to the Microsoft Tips Showcase, where we provide quick single-topic videos on how to do something within a Microsoft 365 related tools such as SharePoint, Dynamics, Office, etc. These tips are brought to you by SV MacPack, a certified veteran-owned and HubZone consulting firm supporting primarily the U.S. federal government. In support of our customers' need to maximize the value of the tools they currently invest in, we started creating video tips. We hope these tips help you as well. This video is a part of a series of videos introducing you to Microsoft 365 as if this is the first time you're seeing any of it. We'll move quickly to keep the videos short. Let's go ahead and get started on this next video. First video we did the tours, and that was episode 15. Episode 16 we're going to go into the user settings, and that was that gear icon. So anytime somebody says go to settings, etc., you know you're heading to the gear icon. So when we click on this, we have some options as we go forward. And I'm just going to quickly show you what the options are and how you can begin to change them. You'll explore this more as you get used to it. So this is just a quick tour more than specific training. But theme, you can choose the theme. So if you went ahead, let's go ahead and find kitty cat. So you can see that you can quickly change the theme up above. Now, personally, I'm opposed to that because I'm a big fan of consistency across all users' boards. And you might find an administrator that's doing the same to you, where they lock it down and don't let you change it. But if they do let you change it, you can have some pretty cool themes there. So let's go ahead and leave that as a blue one. As we move down, that was our themes. I'm going to say save that. That looks pretty cool. And you can always go back and change it to that default black if you want. So the next thing you can choose is start page, and where are you getting started as when you land. So right now you're starting on this kind of home page. But you can also choose to have any one of these apps, and we'll come back and change it in a little bit when we're in there. But the idea is if I choose mail, every time you come and log in, you would actually be taken to your email system first. That's really handy if you're jumping to emails and have to get started. If you're more of a collaborative worker, information worker, then this page is probably a pretty good one, or news feed is another good one in Delve. Those are kind of the pages that would bring up a lot of tasks. But that's the ability to edit your start page. I'm going to cancel that. Notifications, you remember I mentioned up here you have notifications, but you also have the ability to say whether you're getting activity. I'm a big fan of turning the sounds off at the very least. And frankly, I don't even actually like emails, but you can sit there and get these notifications. Reminders have to do with 15 minutes before an event comes up. For example, Microsoft 365 will remind you. But here's the options that you can choose. So you begin to control your own environment. Password, changing a password, I think that's pretty clear and it makes sense. It makes absolute sense to change your password on a frequent basis, so that way it's not compromised. Language, I'm going to skip that because I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And then these app settings, as you go through, you have the ability to begin to configure your app. And so let's just start with Office 365. When it comes up, you have the same information that I was talking about where you can edit it, but this takes you to the whole nother level on being able to manage your activity. So up here you can sit there and see, for example, subscriptions. This is the subscription I belong to, unique identifier in there, but it tells me what apps I have access to. I'm going to go ahead and click on Office 365 and go back home for a second. We're back at our settings. Just show you one more time, the same kind of thing if you want to manage your mail, for example. The mail settings. It takes you into mail, and over here you'll notice that the mail settings start coming up. We'll come back to some of this other activity, but you can set up whether you want to do automatic replies if you're out of the office. Let me go ahead and show you some of these things. When you want to set how your emails look on your page, this is how you come in, and I would encourage you to explore this. You know, here you show the reading pane is on the left. Another one could be below the messages each time. Personally, I'm a big fan of just hiding it because I don't really need to read the message. But this is where you choose what's good for you. This one's really handy if you're just trying to edit certain folders or you just want to push it down to everything. These settings, I'm not going to explain what all of them are, but it's useful for you to begin to explore these and see which ones fit your way of doing work. So in here, it's the same thing. How do you want to see stuff? You know, it's Office 365 is kind of new, but it's not that challenging if you take the time to just walk through it. Take an hour. It's a tool that you need to master. So take an hour and just walk through this and begin to configure it. I've done this myself, and it just makes it so much easier to manage on activity. Focus Inbox is kind of a new thing for some people. It didn't work well for me. I actually like to see my emails just continuous thread, where each email that comes in, it's at the top for every new one. So that would be don't sort the messages. But if I actually had this focus message, it would take messages around a common thread and group them all together. Anyways, you can move on, same thing. As you move forward, some of these are a little more advanced on what you'll see and what settings are available to you, but you have the ability to manage your settings for, let me go ahead and hit OK on that, and OK on that guy. I'm going to come back here to my portal page. Got a lot of windows open. Hold on a second. Let me just go ahead and close a lot of them. I'm back at my portal page here. So just so you know where I'm at that main home page, and I'm on settings, and I clicked into some of these. So you can do the same thing. With each one of these apps, you have the ability to manage some activity, and you have this control for how Office 365 or Microsoft 365 products work for you. I would highly encourage you to get in there and begin to explore it and become familiar with it so it fits well for you, and it doesn't, it's not a hard thing for you. It actually empowers you to do the job. Okay, so that concludes this lesson. I hope you found this tip useful as you continue to use Microsoft 365 related products in support of your day-to-day job. Please provide me with feedback in the comments. Let me know how I can make the tips more relevant and useful to you, including suggesting tips that we could create for you. Finally, if you found this review helpful, please share it with others on any one of the social media platforms or just give it a thumbs up. I'm your host, Neil McDonald with SV MacPack. I thank you for joining me today and hope you'll join me again for other tips.